Yo, what's going on, FG fam, and welcome to another year of scouting in the Detroit Tigers franchise. Lots of great prospects to get to, so if you appreciate all the work that I put into these videos, make sure you drop a like. If you're new, we only do franchise content here at Franchise Gaming, so be sure to drop a sub if you like what you see, and hit that notification bell to stay up on all of the great storylines going on around the channel. As always, I will have my great friend Akbach of Octogonal Gaming highlighting the international players in the class, so check his channel out. It is linked in the description below. Without further ado, let's check out some of the great players around college baseball this year. The College World Series was a wild one. UNC was upset by Oklahoma State. UNC's shortstop Henry Sanchez is projected to go in the first round of this draft. Sanchez was born in the U.S. to two immigrant parents and has dealt with a lot of language barriers in his life. A North Carolina native, all he knew was the Tar Heels, and he was very happy to be able to play for the team he always grew up rooting for. He's a speedy young defensive shortstop whose hitting is going to need a ton of work to be a viable major leaguer. But good thing for him, at only 18 years old, he'll have plenty of time to develop those skills. The Texas Longhorns took down the Indiana Hoosiers, and their duo of second baseman Cletus Clinton and right fielder Porter Reyna. Clinton is a surefire top 3 pick in the draft, and some say he will go first overall. However, I say he's very raw and will probably never see the starting lineup for a major league team that takes him. Born in Wisconsin, he committed to Indiana mostly because he wanted to get away from his abusive father. It's worked out pretty well for him, but he really needs to develop a better bat. Still, this 22-year-old should hear his name called very early. Now, for Porter Reyna, his teammate, he's had a much different path. He's from Indiana and committed to the school for football as a wide receiver. However, he never really developed well enough and has really improved his baseball skills and moved over to baseball full-time. He's now projected to be a top 5 pick, possibly top 3, due to his incredible speed and defensive skills. He also is a decent contact hitter, so that puts him right above Clinton in the first place. And he's now projected top 5. His drawbacks are the facts that you won't see him hit many over the fence and that he's never been a performer in crunch time. But he's also only 19 and has plenty of time to possibly get the right coaching staff to get the most out of him. Texas got the win in the game and made their entire run this season thanks to right fielder Forrest Driscoll. The Texas native has shot up draft boards to being a possible top 5 selection himself. He's a great leadoff hitter with his combo of contact hitting, speed, and base running skills. He could use the weight room a little bit, as well as some work on his vision and discipline, but at 20 years old, he'd have to get that done quickly. Texas would then move on to face Oklahoma State, and they got the win there as well, as Forrest Driscoll continued his crazy postseason. He was 4 for 4 with 3 stolen bases and crossed the plate all 4 times in a 6-4 win. That would get him onto the College World Series final. But against who? Well, on the other side of the bracket, the Michigan Wolverines throttled the Purdue Boilermakers 10-2 behind their ace pitcher, Mark Kenny, who committed out of Ohio. The 21-year-old is a top 10 projected pick with fantastic break and velocity. He gets a ton of strikeouts, but if he has a weakness, it's definitely getting deep into games. Good thing he gets run support thanks to his partner, third baseman Jack Daly. Daly is an 18-year-old Michigan native who is only projected late first round, but might be one of the more underrated position players in the entire draft. He's never missed a game in his entire life, and going back to Little League, that's durable. He is a terrific fielder with great power at the plate. Now, he doesn't always make solid contact, but when he does, oh man, it's gone. His speed isn't up to snuff, and he needs to work on his plate discipline, but there's a lot to like about Daly already. Who knows what he could become? The Maryland Terrapins were back at it again this year, as they're always producing some top talents, going back to our very first pick in the series, Richard McGowan. This year, it's second baseman Will Glass. Glass is a 20-year-old from Washington, D.C., who is only projected as a mid-round pick. I can't really think of a good reason why. Many don't think he can improve too much more than he already is, but to me, he's so MLB ready that who really cares? Glass is a very well-rounded player whose only true weaknesses are his plate discipline and some injury concerns. He usually misses about a month per season, but he's such a great all-around talent that I think there are a few teams that would look to take a chance on him. He went 4 for 5 with 2 homers and 6 ribbies in helping the Terrapins take down the UCLA Bruins and their trio of talent by a score of 8-7. Even though Maryland is a perennial contender, they were still underdogs. UCLA's shortstop Mark Harp is a projected top 5 pick from Arizona. He has immense speed and fielding skills. What lets him down constantly is his bat. He struck out with 2 on in the 9th. The Bruins also have center fielder Albert Barrera, who is an 18-year-old LA native. He's only projected to be in the 2nd or 3rd round, but he's a single machine with speed and very good base running skills. What he does lack is vision at the plate and some fielding. Usually lets him down every once in a while. He's a liability in the outfield, but his speed makes him very rangy at center field. It's a trade-off that didn't pay off for UCLA, unfortunately, in the end. Closing pitcher Kenny Kelly did his best to help out as he pitched a scoreless 8th and 9th to get them back into the game, but the bats didn't come through when they needed them the most. Kelly's from San Francisco, California, and definitely has a chance to be one of the best closers in baseball in a year or two. He can strike out any batter with his velocity and movement combo, and he's extremely clutch as he showed against Maryland when they needed those 2 innings of great ball. With the win, Maryland went on to take on Michigan, and that's where their run stopped this year. Will Glass did get the only 2 hits in the game for the Terps as Mark Kenny shut the rest of the lineup down completely. The win put the Wolverines in the championship series against Texas. Texas won Game 1 on a Forrest Driscoll walk-off RBI single by a score of 3-2. Michigan took game number 2 due to Jack Daly's moonshot 3-run homer to win it 4-1. And then it was Mark Kenny with one of the great pitching performances in recent College World Series history. A no-no broken up with 1 out in the 9th inning. Though he didn't get the no-no, he did get the complete game shutout along with 17 strikeouts and a College World Series title. So congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines. And I look forward to seeing some of these guys become greats in the league. If you would like to have a prospect, now is the time, so make sure you follow the template that will be in the description below to get into the series, because this is probably the last year we are going to highlight prospects the way that we have been doing it, because at this point, we're getting close to the next cycle of MLB. That's probably only about 4 months away at this point, and likely we're not going to have enough time to see any of these guys become anything if we continue to do these specials, and I want you guys to be able to remember guys that are going to end up doing big things. So, with that being said, we will now check on the updates of where all the current user prospects have gone and how they are doing right after we check in with Octi. Octi, what do you have in the international realm?
Thank you, FG, and hello, FG fam. This is Ocbach from Octogonal Gaming, and I am here to get you in the know on some of the top players that will enter a draft from the international ranks this year. Around the world, there's always a ton of great talent entering the draft, and specifically this year, this draft class is dominated with pitchers. You need a starter, a reliever, or a closer. You can pretty much get them all because there's so many good ones. So, without further ado, let's get this one underway. Venezuela took the international championship this past season and did so quite easily. Blue chip prospect, 19-year-old second baseman Julian Quevedo anchored the lineup this season. Quevedo projects to be a really raw prospect at the major league level, but he did excel in the base pass this past season. Rarely did he reach base without eventually scoring, and that kind of player could be a threat in the majors, as we've seen with a guy like Richie McGowan, who of course is with our very own Tigers. Now, Quevedo does not project to be the hitter that Richie McGowan is, at least not right away. However, I do believe the right coaching staff can definitely develop Julian into being a really good second baseman. Quevedo was not the only great player on the Venezuela national team this past season. They were also the top team in the world in close games thanks to closing pitcher Leandro Aguila. Aguila is only 19 years old and is very close to being major league ready out the gate. He rarely allowed hits and was a decent strikeout closer. His velocity and break were both equally great. Sometimes he does not really have the control, but that will come with time, and I think he'll be a no-miss closer in the majors within a year or two. Another closer who excelled this season was 23-year-old Alberto Osuna of the runner-up Puerto Rico team. Osuna is in the exact same mold as Aguila, almost to a T. However, he is much more raw and needs a little bit more time developing, but the blue chip player for Puerto Rico is 20-year-old starting pitcher Julian Fuentes. Fuentes is going to have to develop a lot in the minors before he is ready, but in my opinion, he has the tools to be successful. He has great velocity already, but could use some more control and needs to get deeper in games. However, I think he could be a really good arm for a team looking for a developmental starting pitcher. You got to be patient with him, but in my opinion, he can develop into a star. To get to the championship game, Puerto Rico defeated South Korea and 23-year-old starting pitcher William Son. Son has terrific velocity with some really nice break. However, his control was the major issue in that game and all season, if we're being honest. He still had many quality outings and is being close to Major League ready. However, he'll need at least a year in the minors to really get some more control on his pitches before he will be MLB ready. 3 more players to go over, and they are all starting pitchers. The first one we got here is the Dominican Republic's Steve Fernandez. Fernandez is a 24-year-old right-hander with good stamina and decent velocity. Where he really excels is the break on his curveball and cutter. If he is an issue getting to the next level, however, it will be because he only has a 3-pitch arsenal. Next up, we have Australia's starting pitcher, Oliver Gillis. Gillis is a 21-year-old right-hander with extremely good stamina, velocity, and break. His control is also close to Major League level, and while he'll give up his fair share of hits, a walk is extremely hard to come by from him. Overall, I think Gillis is one of the top starting pitching prospects in this entire class. However, the only reason he's not the best is because of Japan's Brian Murakami. Murakami is only 18 years old, and many people believe he is the top prospect in this entire draft class. He has the most stamina of any starting prospect in this draft class, and the fastest pitch off the radar gun as well. His break is pretty good for the extreme amount of velocity he possesses. He rarely gives up a long ball and will strike out a ton of batters. His only downfall could be his control, leading to some walks, but at just 18, Murakami should be the consensus top pick in this year's draft class, which could be trouble for the Tigers, as that would put him in Kansas City with the divisional rival Royals. So as you can tell, the international pool is strong in pitching prospects this year. We'll see if the Tigers look to add any to their already dominant farm system. Again, I am Akbach from Octogonal Gaming. Thanks again, FG, for having me on another fantastic scouting report. I will see you all next year. Let's go Tigers, and I'll get back to you, FG.
Thank you, Octi. Again, guys, his link will be in the description below. Make sure you go over there, drop him a sub, and let him know who sent you in one of his videos. Thank you guys for that consideration. Now we'll move on and take a look at how your user players have been doing, entirely up to date here. Right away, as we see Blake Westcott in AAA for the Miami Marlin organization. He's pitched in 51 Major League games to a 4.18 ERA. Tyler Frick is in the Major Leagues for the Cleveland Indians. He's pitched in 80 Major League games to a 4.67 ERA and a positive win-loss record. Obviously, we know Kendall Brown has been with our Tigers for a while. He's played 341 games for us already, and he's hit 64 home runs to a 273 average. We love our boy Kendall. Too bad he's hurt this year. Third baseman James Watton is still in the majors with the Washington Nationals. He's played 365 games for them, only batting a career 233 with 41 home runs, though. Third baseman Ben Nost is with the Boston Red Sox organization. He's in AAA, and he still has not played a game in the majors yet. First baseman Matt DeFonso is in AA with the Washington Nationals organization, and he has yet to play any games in the major leagues. In fact, he's yet to get better than AA status. First baseman Preston Kinney is in AAA with the rival Minnesota Twins, and he has yet to see any time in the majors, and behind Max Muncy, it's going to be tough for him to see any time. Starting pitcher Mark Leota is the ace of the staff in Kansas City. In fact, he's the best player on the entire team. He's pitched 47 games for them to a 3.86 ERA, but it's hard for him to get wins on such a bad team. Starter Braden Young is in a much better situation. He's pitched 53 games in the majors. He's in the majors with the Minnesota Twins. He's actually the second best starter on the team, and he's got a career 2.88 ERA, 27-11, not bad. Now starter Yogi Archibald is in AAA for the Philadelphia Phillies right now with the Iron Pigs. He's pitched 13 games in the major leagues to a 3.62 ERA, but only 2-5, and they didn't bring him back up this year. Starter Matty Dublin is in AAA with the Seattle Mariners. He has yet to start a game in the majors. Starter Cole Shackelford is in Single A with our Detroit Tigers. We got a pretty stacked farm system. He may make his way to Double A at some point this year, but he's yet to pitch in the majors. Reginald King is obviously in the majors with the Houston Astros. He's played 335 games for them at only a .218 average with 41 home runs, so a little lackluster in his performance. Third baseman Adam Azzarola for the Oakland A's has never played a game in the majors, and he's currently in Double A with the squad. Starter Ryan Butler is in AAA with the Kansas City Royals. He's yet to start a game in the majors, but it looks like he might be getting pretty close. Starter Ryan Schaefer is in AAA with our Tigers organization, and he might lead them to a national championship this year, but he's yet to pitch in the majors. Shortstop Gavin Tenksa is with the Baltimore Orioles in their Double-A organization, and he has never played a game in the major leagues. Shortstop Christian Colon Jr. is in Double-A with the Toronto Blue Jays, and he has also never played a major league game at 24 years old. Right fielder Rowdy Miller is in AAA with the Washington Nationals organization, and he hasn't played a game in the majors, but it looks like he may eventually do so within the next year or so. Center fielder Alexandre Edwards is in AAA with the San Diego Padres. He has yet to play in a major league game, and he's kind of buried a little bit here in this organization. Starter Dino Escalona is in AAA with the Miami Marlins. He has yet to play in a major league game, but he might be good enough soon. He's only 19 years old, and he's already kind of up there in the organization. Center fielder Christian Hall is in AAA for the Colorado Rockies. He actually played 18 games with them in 2023, but only batted .191. Shortstop Juan Ramada is in Double-A with the Chicago White Sox organization. He has never played a game in majors. Shortstop Damian Hudson III is in AAA for the Houston Astros. He has also never played a game in the majors. He's batting .216 right now. First baseman Wesley Muller III is in Double-A for the Boston Red Sox. He's also never played in the major leagues either. Right fielder Preston Flowers is in the Colorado Rockies Double-A organization with the Yard Goats, and he's never played in the majors either. Left fielder Shaman Hawkins is in our Double-A system, and he's also never touched the majors, but I really like the way his power's developing, and who knows what the future could hold for him. Shortstop Steven Jackson is looking pretty good, but he's kind of buried in that Diamondback organization. He's never played. Third baseman Gareth Gibson is in Single-A with the San Francisco Giants and has never come close to playing. Right fielder Albert Schweitzer III is in Double-A with the Cardinals organization, and he's also never touched the field for the majors. First baseman Max Burrows is in Double-A for the Minnesota Twins. He's never played in the majors, but he's in a pretty good organization. He's actually hurt right now. Relief pitcher Reed Cook is in AAA for the Mariners. That's a pretty good spot for him. Who knows? Maybe he can improve, but he's only got a .506 ERA, and he's never played in the majors. Catcher Gustavo Pla is in AAA for the Cardinals. He's also never played in the major leagues. Starting pitcher Barry Barrymore is in Single-A for the Baltimore Oriole organization. He's also never touched the field for the major league team. Starting pitcher Kelly Van Halen, RIP, is in Double-A for the Minnesota Twins, and he's never played in the majors either. Closer Blaze Butch is in AAA for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he hasn't played in the majors yet, but man, is he good. Second baseman Pablo Sanchez is in Double-A for the Kansas City Royals, but you gotta think that he could come up sooner than later. That team is not good, and he is actually making good progress down there. Looks like there could be some stars coming up to the majors pretty soon in this franchise. If you guys want a chance to take over one of the prospects that was not highlighted in this video, make sure you guys follow the description. There is a template in there. If you don't follow it, you're probably not getting a player. Who knows? This could be the last scouting episode for the series because honestly, at this point, it's getting to the point where draftees aren't really going to make a major impact in the final 2 to 3 seasons that we may have left before the cycle of the game is over. So I do hope you guys have been enjoying these scouting episodes. I may do something much smaller next time with maybe like 2 or 3 guys that are going to go top 5 or so. Maybe, I'm not really sure. I might make a special separate video showing highlights of everyone's prospects at some point near the end of the series as well. Let me know what you think of those ideas in the comments section below. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. If you did, please go ahead and drop that like button for me. Help me out in this algorithm. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and this is the first you're ever seeing, because franchise content is all we do here and we can build a winner together. And if you want to see some more franchise content just like this, make sure you click any of the links in the end screen, and I will see you all next time. Take care.